Now really what we need, like I said earlier, is for something to come walking past you. That'll certainly get their attention, but unless that happens, it's going to be a while before we expect to see any sign of life from them. And Mark is still searching for some interesting animals to show you, or anything interesting, I guess, and that is the wonderful thing about Mark is his intense and in-depth knowledge of these surroundings allows him to often come up with some very interesting smaller facts or creatures to share with us. So he is still searching but hasn't had any luck as of yet, so until he does, we'll stay with these guys. Alex has just mentioned that a lot of people are asking to recap on the latest updates on Shadow and her cub, which is a female leopard that was last seen by Mark yesterday afternoon, and it's the female with her 5-month-old cub that were marooned up a knobthorn tree with their kill, or at least the cub was, and there were a few hyena below. When we went there this morning, the kill had been finished. There were a few remains dangling in the tree, and the hyena was still lingering there, hoping for those little bits to drop down. But there was no sign of the leopard and her cub, and nobody actually knows where they ended up. None of the guides or trackers in that area managed to find any sign of where they went. But we can assume that everything is okay. It is a dangerous scenario that did unfold there, and obviously still very risky for a 5-month-old cub to be coming across hyena, but it is commonplace out here, and I would say that 95% of kills that does attract hyena, so it wasn't an abnormal scenario to have that leopard cub marooned up the tree with the hyena below. It's very common for them to be in those situations and survive to tell the tale, so hopefully in the coming days or weeks we will be able to see that leopard and her cub again. But she is quite elusive, so we were lucky to get a view of her. I know the rangers in that area of Arethusa do battle to find her, even though they may find her tracks fairly often. It's difficult to pinpoint where she's hiding. So I hope that gives all of you who were interested in the updates of Shadow and her cub an idea of what's gone on, but as I said, nobody actually knows what happened last night. We can only speculate. Now you'll notice that the flies are beginning to cause the lions some serious irritation. All of their tails started flicking simultaneously there. One of them, though, needed to attack the flies with more than just its tail, and thankfully that got its head up for a moment. Yours, what are your plans? Do you want to move on, or are you happy here? Okay, good. Cool. Thank you. Okay. Good.
Nkuhuma means brown ivory.
Okay.
It's actually the brown ivory pride, but Nkuhuma means brown ivory.
Okay. Thanks very much. So I'm sure you would have copied that message. The name of their pride, Nkuhuma, is the name of a tree called the brown ivory tree. And obviously when this pride was named, they used to spend a lot of time around a potential individual brown ivory or several of them in a specific area. Sharon's just mentioned that she was under the impression that lion spots or rosettes fade as they become older, and that certainly is true. But she did say that a few of these lion that we're looking at are still fairly spotted, and that's because they look to be young lioness, especially the one that is in shot now. I'm guessing, again, I don't have a monitor, so it is difficult for me to narrate, Sharon, and understand exactly which line you're looking at and which spots Brian was showing you. But to me it looks like quite a few members of this pride are still youngsters, and it could be just that there's one or two adult lionesses here, I'm not too sure. But fair to say that there are a few sub-adults that are still growing up, and their spots will continue to fade as they get older. So good observation and well pointed out, and I was ages and possible dynamics of this pride, but it is difficult when they're lying down with their heads in the grass. The two that do have their heads up now, the one on the left looks to be slightly older than the one on the right, but I could be wrong. Well, at least their heads are up for now. Belly, whereas the rest of them look to be quite hungry still. Yours, do you know if it's how many adult lionesses there are here, or what the composition is?
Three adult females,
Okay.
4 sub-adults. Like this one on the right.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they're 9. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure if you heard that, but according to yours, apparently 3 of the lioness here are adults, and then 4 sub-adults. But there could be 1 or 2 members missing. There were 1 or 2 members mating with another Matumba male the other day, and I believe they are the same members of this pride, so it's not uncommon for prides to split up temporarily for various reasons. Because here at the moment we do only have visual of 7. And then 8 including the Matumba male, but he's not strictly part of their pride. Go ahead. speak to yours, he'll be able to let you know. Yours, would you mind just updating Texan on a standby for yours?
Standing by station. Dollarite Road. Just come on Dollarite Road. Right, south. Still there now? Okay.
Oh, wonderful. We've got some action. And that looks to be like a mother grooming the smallest member of this pride. Wonderful. You okay there with your angle, Brian? A bit of motherly love, in all likelihood.
This is Nkuhuma. Yeah, one Matipa.
It's incredible how cute and loving such potentially dangerous animals can be. And always wonderful to see, even though that was just a brief show of how caring they can be towards one another. And again, it's very important to remember, that these are the only cats in the world that have realized the benefits of becoming social and forming these groups or prides. Nowhere else in the world do you find social cats to this degree. Specialized to live in these groups, and rightfully so. There's a lot of large game in this area that they would only be able to bring down cooperatively and impossible on their own.